Hi everyone, this is Sona. I have been up all night and well, because I had an allergic reaction to saline solution and eyes are still a little pink from that. So sorry if I look a little rough, but I want to tell my story because I saw somebody's post saying that they couldn't, they don't think they can do it anymore. And basically, I lived in flight or flight mode for a very long time. And even as a kid, I was conditioned to live in fight or flight. I went through so many traumatic experiences as a child that no child should have to go through. I was born to a teenage single mom, a father I don't know, and he was in and out of jail because my mom was trying to make him pay child support. You know what? It's so funny as I think about that. In my experience with my ex-husband, no matter what you try to make them do, they're not going to do it if they choose to do it. And so that right there, I had just like gave up on that and just took care of responsibility for my own child myself. But it's so funny that this man wanted kudos for doing something. But getting back to my story, I was conditioned at a very young age. All I could do was survive. She married a man that was abusive to me, abusive to her. He moved us in this house. Now, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and being from that town, that's where my greatest traumas are from, because I grew up there. And he moved us on the south side of town in this 2-bedroom house that the roof was weeping every time it rained, and there were holes in the floor. And he sold drugs out of this house. Front door would not open. It was like sealed shut. We had to go out the back door. So say if it was a fire and the fire blocked the back door, we probably would have burned in that house. That's how unsafe that house was. Hi, Andrea. And I had to deal with, at a young age, abuse. Being called out of my name. And my stepfather did not like me because I was not his. I was not a part of him. And he had a daughter. And he conditioned his daughter not to like me either. His daughter would cut my brand new sandals. She would, I had this beautiful, hi Sean, I had this beautiful long hair down to my back, to my butt. My mom walked in with her trying to cut my pigtails. Now, my mom, she did grow my hair, but it was like, stuff I had to be, conditioned. There were times that we didn't have food to eat because he took the money to buy drugs. And, going through that as a child. And this is before my half sister and half brother was born. And when they were born, I had to have the responsibility once I got home from school to raise kids. I'm 9 years old, guys. And I'm raising babies. 9 fucking years old. My mom worked. This man sat on the couch, smoked weed, snorted cocaine, didn't do anything. Hey Cyril, didn't do a thing. I'm 9 years old. My childhood in Memphis, Tennessee was snatched from me. Another baby came. Had to raise that one. Now when my mom got tired of the abuse and she realized she was abusing me because he was abusing her, we moved. I went to school. He beat her one night where I jumped in and he hit me upside the head with a telephone. I went to school. This is my junior year high school, with the side of my face black and blue, and I was sent to school like that. When I'm sitting at my desk, my teacher sees me, a 16-year-old girl with the side of her face swollen and black and blue. They wanted to put me in a foster home. She begged them not to. We're moving. We eventually moved. Yeah, we did. But the abuse continued. The mental, the emotional abuse continued from my mother. And you know what? It's so sad that I can't blame her for that because that's how she was conditioned. And this is my biological mom, guys. This is not my adopted mom that I love so much dearly that passed on. And to this day, I don't speak to her. Because I was at a point where I could not just mentally fathom the stuff that came out of her mouth. So, as a child, I could have easily took my life, all the shit I went through. Easily. I could have slit my wrist. I could have overdosed. But I didn't. I kept moving. Paid my way through college. Got engaged. Again, another mistake. Do I regret that mistake? No, because the best thing out of that mistake is, there's a lot of things, but the best thing out of that mistake was my son. You know, leave home. You know, I leave home, never been out on my own, just to be with him. Things were good initially when we were engaged. We had a nice house. I had my first house at 21 years old. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. 6 months later, had a brand new car in the driveway. It was great. It was the law of attraction at its finest because things were good. And when it comes to law of attraction, you're a magnet. So how you're feeling is what you draw to you. So at that time, I was feeling great. Things were happening. But then things went sour right before the wedding, because he allowed his mommy to come in and disrupt our positive environment. Couldn't let mama go. We ended up getting married anyway, and things went downhill, and went up. You know, energy flows up and down. You know, and we ended up in Savannah. Things kind of were cool when we started our marriage, and things started going bad, and I ended up going to Atlanta. Ended up transferring there. He transferred and got fired. And this is the first time I tried to kill myself. Yes, I had it. This is when I tried to attempt to kill myself. We're struggling. I'm working 2 jobs, getting established in Atlanta. His friend gets this girl pregnant. They're supposed to be together. And he decides he's going to take our money to put down on an apartment for his friend. And we're barely making it. I'm struggling. I'm working from 5:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night, 2 jobs. And he decided he was gonna look out for his friends instead of his wife. Okay? I tried to OD on opiates. I've never told this story before. I remember waking up in an emergency room because of that. I ended up moving in with a friend for a while. It was about 6 months. Because I left him. Took the cat with me. And I had to rebuild myself. I mean, it was at the point where I was at the point of exhaustion. I was at the point of exhaustion, and I couldn't do it. Just like I saw that person's post saying they couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was 26 years old. I met someone, and she put this book in my hand called the Universal Laws of Success. I didn't know what to do with that book. I had no clue. I was so socially conditioned to be in fight mode since a child. And I always tell people, if you have children, please, between the ages of 0 and 7, please condition them positively. Please explain to them why they can't do certain things instead of saying, because I said so, and no, you can't do that. Because I tell you, if I was with my, if I had that, like I've done for my son, I think I would have done a whole lot better in my life to be able to have coping skills and to be able to deal with life's challenges. But also at the same time, I think I think my success would have been, I think if I would have started a lot early on my success journey. So as things go along, you know, it's funny. We gave it another shot. We lived in Bermuda. I got tired of being over there. Came back. Went into real estate. So I got my real estate degree. Started real estate. Left FedEx. Because I just couldn't deal with the environment anymore. Went into real estate. It was really successful. You know, I made my first 6 figures in real estate. It was freaking fabulous. That was my first taste of success at 27 years old. But at 27, something happened. They told me I couldn't get pregnant. They were trying for a baby. I really wasn't serious. But when they told me I couldn't get pregnant, I got serious. 2 months later, after they told me that, I was pregnant, and I had to make a choice. I had to choose my son or my job. My job was like, I'm making money, I'm successful. I'm like, whoa. But the real success was my son. And they told me if I wanted to keep him, I had to, you know, I had to leave him. I had to leave my job when I was working 14 hours a day. So, but it's funny how things fall into place, because as soon as I left my job, because I was the majority breadwinner at that time, and as soon as I left my job, he got a promotion. Things fell into place. I still have my little side hustle. But it was his turn to just fully prove how much of a man he was. And that didn't last long. It lasted about a year after the baby was born, and he wanted me to go back to work. One day, when I did go back to work, I never checked the mailbox. Don't ask me why I didn't ever check the mailbox. Check the mailbox. He had a secret bank account where he was stashing money. Now, bills were not getting paid. Lights getting cut off. But he has $10,000 in the secret bank account because he didn't think I was going to ever check your mail. This sent me into a spiral. But to add insult to injury, he was cheating too. There was periods where he didn't even come back home. And one day I finally got the courage to leave. And I told him I'm leaving. He thought I was leaving him for another man. Nope. I wasn't leaving for another man. I was leaving to go on the property. At this time I went on site to manage property, manage apartments. And he helped me move in. I told him I was leaving. He said, you left before and came back. I told him, this time I'm not coming back. This man, mind you, this was at year 11. I was with this person, married to him. I was total with him like a total of 16 years. And I was tired. So I moved into my own place with my kid. I was a single mom. And I tell you, it was hard. It was hard for me being a single mom because I had never been out on my own. No one had told me about financially. I had no financial education. I didn't know how to manage my own budget. I was just skating by. You know. And then the guys I dated, I was looking for a father in those men. Big mistake. Big mistake. I suffer from depression. I suffer from depression. And it took me a while to totally come to terms with that and get the proper help for depression. And I tell you, I'll have moments where I'll take my medication and moments I would not take my medication. And I was in these relationships with these men that made me, they filled the void for a moment. At one point in time, I was the other woman. And I tell you, I had no self-respect for myself. Until my mother, the one I love so dearly, came in my life. She told me, and she taught me how to be a real woman. And I tell you, this, you know, life we live in, we're magnets. We are magnets. We draw our reality to us by our thoughts. And some of us out here have been so socially conditioned so bad, and like I said, I'm one of them, that it takes a lot to really reprogram the brain. But I consider myself lucky because I've done years and years of work on myself. I've had mentors. And just to see somebody saying they don't have the strength. I mean, I don't know. I've been homeless twice. Homeless twice, no home. But I've always manifested a roof over my head. It's been periods since I came out here in California where we slept in the car. You know, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy at all. And not to have a real support system, being supportive of yourself, you know, that hadn't been easy at all for me either. And coming, you know, I was brought up in the Bible Belt. where church was a requirement. I thought church and religion was a prison until I got my second degree and I had to understand the concept behind religion. And humans created religion because religion is needed for some humans. I didn't say all, I said some. And things things just didn't click for me right away. And I see how some young people that already have had that love and that support and that positive reinforcement in their family. And you know what? I envy that. I envy that a lot because I wish I had that. To this day, I don't even talk to any family members. Only family member I talk to is my son because he's here with me. And I love him dearly. That's my road dog. He's my ride or die. But other family, no contact. Siblings, no contact. I've always been the black sheep. I've always done things differently. Nobody can understand how my brain processes or how I do things. And I tell you, when I was homeless, only family I had was my mom, my adopted mom. She supported me any way she could. And she was always there on the phone with me, making sure I did not check out and leave my son alone in that situation. And I tell you, I look back to everything I've accomplished up until this day, and I've done damn good in spite of what I have attracted, the realities I have attracted to myself, which haven't been some good realities. Right now, I have some great realities. I moved into this, I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. I moved into this luxury apartment 3 years ago and I'm still here. But I'm not perfect. Not by a long shot. I created a reality where the job I was working is a toxic environment. That's reality I attracted to myself. I attracted a slip and fall, which I'm suffering from the physical pain of. But it's okay. We live and we learn. We're human. I just have to be wary of our thoughts. And I'm doing this because, when people say they can't do it or they don't have the will to do it, look at my life and take it for example. In spite of all the adversities I faced, I still did it. To this day, I still did it. And I'm a manifestation mindset mentor. And, believe me, I'm not perfect for a long shot. But no matter what the difficulty is, no matter what it is, no matter what age you are, start looking at the bright side of things. And if you need that boost, message me, because I tell you, no matter what you're going through right now, it's going to be okay. I'm telling myself right now, it's going to be okay. Especially with my eyes burning. My eyes are burning so bad right now. I had to put this medicine in my eyes from having an allergic reaction from Optifree saline solution. But for those out there who are saying that they can't do it anymore, they don't have the will to do it anymore, watch this video. Definitely watch this video. And that's not even a whole story. This is just what I, in a nutshell, what I've been through, the difficult times. And I just, want to say, if I can do it, you can do it. That's all I'm saying. Whatever trials and tribulations you're going through, start showing gratitude. And the funny thing is, I've got to tell you this, I nearly died. Yeah, I nearly died. I flipped a car on I-20 in Atlanta back, I believe, 2 weeks before Hurricane Katrina. And this is a story that I tried to manifest the car I wanted and ended up getting a piece of shit because I was thinking about what I didn't want. Well, this car nearly killed me. So I get this car, bought this car from a buy here, pay here, because my credit was shit. And so I'm driving, a car full of stuff, getting ready to move into a new apartment. And these people are racing in between traffic. It's heavy traffic. It's a Friday night. And this person comes up, cuts me off, hits their brakes. I'm trying to prevent from hitting them. And my car swerves, goes up the median, and starts flipping. Now at this moment, when my car goes up, the words that were coming out of my mouth was, thank you. I don't know what prompted me to say thank you. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. And I blacked out. But, and this may sound weird to some of you guys, I saw myself in this dark room, on my knees, with my head down, and I could see down to the wreckage. And as I saw down to the wreckage, this voice was saying, what do you want to do? You got a choice. You can stay here, you can go back. And I was like, I have to go back. I have a 6-year-old kid that I need to raise. Go back. Next thing I know, I woke up and I was in the wreckage of my car. And this woman told me, don't move. And she said, don't move. And she started praying over me. That night, angels were around me that night. I blacked out again. They said that in the ambulance, that they said that when they got me to trauma, I flatlined. I was technically dead. They brought me back. Now, for all you guys out there that's saying you can't do that, you can't do it anymore, you don't have it in you anymore, fuck that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it was funny, I was there, and when I finally looked at myself, I was suffering from multiple contusions to the face. See this right here? I had a contusion the size of a grapefruit right there. Black eyes. I walked around with black eyes for 8 months. I broke my metacarpals. Broke my hand. They said I wasn't going to have full use of my hands. But I walked away from that accident alive. Truly alive. Blessed just to have those minor injuries. Yeah, glass cut my hair. I had pretty hair. I had to cut all my hair off. I was pulling glass out of my scalp for months. 3 years ago, I pulled out glass out of my elbow. 3 years ago. The accident happened 14 years ago. So, to all of you guys out there that are going through something, that are struggling right now, be grateful for where you are right now. And start being grateful. Because you know what? When you're grateful, it changes everything. Everything changes. The whole outlook changes. And being grateful as a habit, your life changes. So, I wanted to just put that out there because something was just telling me to just tell that story so that person out there could not feel alone in what they're going through. And I'm gonna end right here because my phone is about to die on me. And but thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you watching me tell a story, because this this wasn't easy for me, telling a story and being this vulnerable. I'm used to showing this strong persona, and I'm used to laughing a lot to hide my pain. That's the way I hide my pain. I laugh. And but anybody that you know that may be going through something to this effect, please share this with them, because I tell you, I've been through hell and back, and I'm still here. And I'm here to serve people and help them navigate through the rough waters of life, because life can be hard. But whoever out there that's having a hard time, that's thinking about ending their life, don't do it. Look at my life as an example that you can do it too. I'm going to end this right here, and I'll talk to you soon.